Hey beautiful souls, welcome back to my little internet corner. Today I'm delighted to show you how I upcycled these Lay's chip containers into jazzy statement vases for my home. Be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications to get weekly content like this, and let's get right into it. So I started out by removing the label as much as I could by snatching it off. But of course there was residue left from the point where the label was glued, so I boiled some water to loosen it up. And I let it sit for about 15 minutes before I scrubbed it with an old craft sponge. Excuse the paint on it. Even though the camera's not showing it, there was still slightly some glue stuck on it, and you could let it soak until it all comes off, but I'm not patient enough for all that, so I took these mineral spirits I had already had for my furniture projects, and with some steel wool, it scrubbed right off perfectly. So once it was all clean, I let it dry completely, and then I laid some tarp on my balcony and got ready to spray paint. You don't necessarily need this primer step, and I actually found that the white primer started to crack after a couple weeks, but this is my first time like many of my videos, so I'm just being transparent about my process. So I sprayed a layer of white primer for my white vase, and I just used some glossy black spray paint to prime my black vase, only because I had already had it on hand. There's no rhyme or reason to why I used this glossy black spray paint. It was just black. So I let these dry for at least 8 hours, and the next day it was time to paint. So I used these dollar store sponges and just laid the paint on in a uniform direction to avoid brush strokes and keep it as smooth looking as possible. I then allowed this coat to dry for at least 8 hours. Now you could certainly get away with just leaving it at this point, and that would make for some beautiful pieces as illustrated here. But y'all know I have a thing for symmetry and shapes. So I designed some patterns from the things I already had around me. My carpet, my paintings, my kente lamps, and I used that as inspiration for some geometric designs. Once I had some ideas, I drew them onto the white vase with pencil and onto the black vase with some white chalk. You want to be gentle and attentive to avoid smearing and piercing the paint at this stage. Once I had my outline, I painted it over with a thin brush, and that was literally it. I did the same process on the black vase using gold paint, and it really turned out so fly. I had so much fun getting creative, and I always enjoy inspiring others, so I hope this got your creative gears going. Let me know if you tried this. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Turn on your notifications to stay in touch with me, and as always, thanks for watching.